Hello everyone, I'm Point Gaming, and basically just grinding ladder. Just finished my first set of the tournament, lost Ica. But yeah, top 17. Ica's top 18, Blanca top 20. So very interesting tournament matches. Anyway, I'm going to show off an interesting ladder match against Zazzy. Um, I fought him a couple times, pretty skilled. Zazzy, Freed, Humalot. Those guys have pretty decent micro. So I go for a very standard cheese opening, which is a capital snipe, right? Just because it's ladder, you don't know who you're going to face. I actually don't realize that their units are actually that close to the front line. I actually should have invaded the back line. So he does notice that. I mean, as soon as he pulls this unit back, he pulls that unit back. So I go for a cheese. I don't get the cheese, so instead I go for an encirclement because his tanks are out of position. So I notice that he has units. I theoretically go for a capital snipe, but I think he'll be able to counter it because I noticed this unit going back there. So I go for this full-on encirclement. Not enough units are lost, and I get myself encircled. So I lose two tanks. I'm down 40,000 off the bat. This is rough because he's going to be able to push the south with that advantage. So I do find one encirclement, which is nice, but I think it's quite easy to get himself unencircled. I'm trying desperately not to lose these tanks, and I find another encirclement. I find a tank encirclement. So I may get 10,000, but I'm about to lose a lot of troops, as you'll see real soon. So this tank is going to get encircled, so that's my advantage in the north, and then I'm just going to lose even more just because I just do not have the troops supporting. I'm trying to go for encirclements, which I think is a little bit foolish. I really should get my units out of there. I mean, if I play strong defense, I could play it that way, but we'll see how it actually plays out. I lose all my units in the south trying to kill this light unit, which I don't think is worth it. I really do need to extract that tank out. I'm searching for an encirclement. I find one tank encirclement, which I think is nice. And I have a tank in the water, which is not good. So this could have gone very catastrophically if he pushed more aggressively. But he's so focused on saving the south here that he doesn't really notice that. I need to push this tank forward as well. Again, I'm about to lose a tank. I'm trying to get this tank encirclement here. Um, if he moves this, yeah, he finally does move this light unit, but I do protect it, and I do find another tank encirclement. So I'm cutting that in deficit. I'm trading pieces, basically. He does find this encirclement with my light unit, so that's another 10,000 gone, and I am quite far behind. I'm effectively 50,000 behind, somewhere like that. So I need to see if I could find an encirclement in the north, which I'm just not going to find. He has too many troops here. So yeah, the south is pretty messed up. There's no chance of recovering. So I am trying to kill off this light unit. As I said, whatever I can get. I'm about to lose 20,000 in tanks, so I'm quite far behind. The troop count doesn't show it, but the unit count, I am definitely behind in unit count. I even let go of this light unit, so that's kind of rough. This tank in the water is not good. I'm gonna lose this because he just has more light units in the south here. So I go for a full-on defense. Hopefully, if I could get the tank out, I'd be happy, but I don't think that tank is getting out of there. Yeah, so I basically say, yeah, no, I'm going to save as much as I can. This tank, I'm trying to find this an encirclement, just a Hail Mary encirclement. I don't get it. I extract one light unit out. I think that's my total cost, and I basically lose a tank and a light unit. So I'm down 30,000 and quite a decent amount of troops. And the funds, I have not been building any troops because I have not garrisoned my cities, so I'm quite far behind actually. So my units are very low on health, and his units are very healthy. He really should be attacking cities rather than attacking my units. But yeah, so I basically just plop three light units and then hope for the best, trying to go for some sort of naval invasion. I almost get myself encircled, and I do. I lose quite a lot of units in that encirclement, and I am down 40,000 against Zazie. I lose another light unit there, and I need to hold out on these two bridges. Thankfully, he doesn't push south. Like, if he push, well, hard to say. Um, like, this city is so weak that, I mean, Zazzy is focusing on killing units, which I think makes sense, but sometimes you gotta know when you have an advantage. So he's not pushing city. He has a lot of tanks coming in, which is kind of scary. And I'm just doing my best to survive. I lose a light unit, which hurts, I guess, but yeah, I'm basically just accumulating funds and I'm rushing out light units as quick as possible. I'm basically hoping I can outcycle him, but I am down 40,000. A, I have what a third his troop count basically. If it's even worse than that, I have 60% of his troops, so 6/10 of his. I almost have half his troop count, and I do lose half. But I do find some nice encirclements down here, which will kind of cut the deficit. But he has so many light units, and I'm not building properly. Uh, My funds is at 5,000. I somehow find his miracle encirclement and I kill off half his units. Um, so I think that kind of spooks him for an attack. But like, yeah, if he had more, if he committed all into this attack, he would have gotten the city, and I think it would have been game over. I find a second encirclement, and then yeah, I basically just kill off more units to barely equal us. I'm at 1,000 funds right now. You know, you really need to figure out when to push or focus on one city in particular. So again, I go for this defense. I don't really want to go for an attack because I think it's just too hopeless. And basically now it's just replenishment time. He has a lot more tanks than I do, if you notice. He has one, two, three, four, five, 6 tanks, and I have one, and I just built my second one. So over time, he's gonna have more troops than I am. I just have a lot more light units, which means I have more maneuverability. It's just gonna be hard for me to push. But yeah, I have a lot more units than he does. So he's finally starting to build, and he builds even more tanks, right? He has 9 tanks right now against my 3. So in the long run, this game is kind of screwed. I finally built my 4th tank against his 9 tanks. So he's gonna need. So I need to accumulate funds. So I put 4 ships again. And anytime I think of ships, I either think of Blocker or Mike Free. Those two guys are very naval guys. So I do kill off some light units in the water here. I find this encirclement in the south, and yeah, that's a tank down. And then he, for whatever reason, puts a lot of units in the water, which I think is a mistake because you take a lot of attrition. So his health are very low. So that finally gives me the advantage. I retreat to these 4 bridges. He's retreated all his units, so they're no longer in the south. So I know it's time to push because if not, I'm going to thing. I need to make sure these ships never reach land. As soon as they reach land, they'll heal. So I need to damage these ships as much as possible. I put 2 light units to try and attack his tank. He accidentally wanders off the city, and because of that, I think he just loses morale and gives up. Very close. I was down by a lot. I don't think this is my biggest comeback. There was one video, I think it was against the real Tim or something, that I was down like 100,000. I came back, but it's kind of crazy. Mike Free has done some amazing comebacks as well, and it's kind of Assassin is kind of picking up that playstyle. But it's really fun 1v1 match. So yeah, that's about it for ladder. Still top 17. Originally was top 18. So yeah, pretty happy. I don't know if I'll ever reach 1900, but I said the same thing about 1800. Always fun. Uh, although I may probably just step away from War of Dots for a little bit, just because playing the same game over and over again kind of burns you out a little. It's fun.